Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new then welcome. My name's Christina, and on my channel we talk all things beauty from my own experiences, and today we are doing our very first update on our project pan for 2024. If you missed my very first project pan video, I did film it back in June, and it was where I was like introducing you guys to my project pan, what I was planning on doing, and all of the products that I was going to be including in this project. And today we're going to be doing our very first update. So I guess we are talking like a month of use for all of these. Now, there are some noticeable differences in a lot of these products, but there are also no changes in some of them, to be quite honest with you guys. And I think I might possibly be adding other things into our project pan. We'll see. I'll explain all of that as we continue. But if you guys are interested in seeing my progress so far with our project pan, then let's get started. So I did take some update photos for you guys to see as this video continues, so you guys can see the progress we made compared to the very first photos that we took starting the project. So the first product that we're going to be talking about was the first one that we introduced, which is the Mercier Translucent Press Setting Powder. This is the Ultra Blur formula, and this is what it looks like. You guys can see there is a considerable pan right there. We definitely can you guys see the progress that we've made here? I will insert the photo of what it looked like when we started the project versus what it's looking like now. And as you can see, we have a lot more pan, which is so exciting to me. I knew that it was going to be satisfying seeing these pans start to form and seeing the usage of these products, but man, you guys were not kidding when you said it's addicting to see like the pan and then continuing on. So I still really love this powder. It's really great. If you guys haven't tried the Ultra Blur formula, it is incredible. Super, super finely milled. This one in particular, the pressed version, I love to use to touch up my makeup, whether I'm filming, whether I'm out. I will take it with me in my purse, and it is just the most perfect touch-up powder because it's so finely milled. It doesn't actually like cake up on the skin, and you don't see a noticeable like layer of powder on the face either. This is truly a translucent shade, so it's really great just to blot out all of that oil, and it doesn't add anything. It doesn't cover up anything on the skin when it comes to like your blush or your bronzer. And I love to use this even with freshly applied makeup. I'll set my face with the setting powder and then I'll wipe it away and I will apply this, and it just blurs the skin, makes it look super soft, and I just love it. I feel like I started to hit pan on this fairly quickly. Like when we started the project, I had been using this for maybe a month or two prior, and I had already hit pan, which was really surprising to me. So I really am curious how deep this pan is. It really doesn't seem like it's very deep, but I'm not going to take away the progress that I've made because still it is progress. There are 0.22 ounces of product in here, by the way. I am very happy with this. It is such a good start to this video. Continuing on with a noticeable dent, we are talking about the Sigma Spectrum Color Correcting Duo in medium to dark. This is the progress that I've made on this so far. I'm pretty sure whenever we started the project, you couldn't quite see any pan, and now you can definitely see pan. In this darker shade, we have a bigger dent than we do in this lighter, more peachy shade. I do tend to use the darker shade more on my face than I do the lighter shade. I'll mix the two, but majority of the product is going to be that darker one, and I'll use it on my hyperpigmentation mainly. And I also have a little bit of like just regular discoloration on the face, so I'll use it on those areas, and I'll usually mix the two whenever I get closer to like the under eye area because I find that that lighter shade really brightens up underneath as well. It is incredible. I love this still. I love the texture of this. I talk about this color corrector all the time. I personally prefer a color corrector that's more of a cream, like a thicker, almost tacky like cream versus a liquid color corrector, because for my uses where I'm covering up hyperpigmentation and not necessarily like dark circles under the eyes, I need something that's going to be a little stronger because those hyperpigmentation spots can be pretty stubborn. And I really enjoy this because it does stay put when you put it on. So whenever you slap on your foundation and concealer, it stays where you applied it. So I love this. And I was looking because I'm pretty sure that I had another one of these, unless I had like gifted it to a friend or family member. I can't find it, and I'm kind of bummed because I'm like, man, I am actually really going through this, but it's okay. We'll think about that later on. We will just focus on the progress that we're making on this so far. Another pretty noticeable dent is the Tower 28 Sculptino in the shade Getty. So as you can see, we do have a little hole right there. These actually don't have pans. It is just straight up like the plastic packaging, which is really incredible because there's a lot less waste and you can easily recycle these. Tower 28 is really great about their products being recyclable, and it's really great to see like that clear bottom right there. It makes me really happy. Someone had mentioned in my initial video that the Tower 28 potted cream products were really easy to pan, and I totally believe it. I felt like I was gonna hit pan on this way sooner than I had, but there is a good amount of product in here. I love these products because they are super pigmented, but I did kind of notice, and we will talk about this. I guess I can talk about it now, but I included another Tower 28 Beach Please product in the shade Magic Hour, and this one I have not made that big of a dent in. There's no pan on this yet. I really don't know if I've used this enough to actually notice a difference, honestly, from where we started. And the reason being is I kind of noticed as I was wearing this, either because the weather, it's so hot, we are like in the middle of summer. I do live in Florida, it's super humid. I felt like this was just a little bit too hydrating on the skin to where it was making my face look a little bit more oily faster than I wanted it to. And I honestly feel like it's because it's the summertime. I wear these all throughout the year and I have no issue, but lately I have been really into like setting my face and baking it and using a finishing powder and then letting my oils like kind of come through as the day progresses. Whereas this will give you a dewy look right off the bat. So I feel like maybe at least for this one, in the shade Magic Hour, I may put this one on a pause when it comes to the project pan until it starts to get a little bit more cool, because I'm just not really happy with the way that it's sitting on my face with these really hot temperatures right now. This I can live with. They are pretty much the same consistency, but I find that if I try to use both of them in the same routine, it's just, my face just looks a little too dewy for what I want it to look like. So I think I'm going to continue using this because with this one, I'm able to spread it out more on my face, like thin it out more, because it does act as like a cream contour. So I can use a lot more of this and spread it out a lot lighter so it doesn't feel as dewy on the skin. And I think I will be pausing on this. It'll still be part of the project pan, but I think I'll pick back up on it maybe in like September, October timeframe. So that is an update on this one as well as the Sculptino. But going back to the Sculptino, I think it's going really well. I really enjoy using this all over my face for contour, and it is like the perfect shade for a contour on the nose. So love this, super satisfying to finally see that clear pan at the bottom. Another one that I'm not seeing too much of a difference in, and mainly for the same reasons as that Tower 28 Beach Please Magic Hour blush. This is the Makeup by Mario SoftSculpt Transform Skin Enhancer in the shade Medium. I have loved this for a very, very long time, but I have noticed that I'm kind of like, I've been sort of slowing down on it because again, it is that very light, thin veil of product, but there is a lot of hydration, a lot of dew to this. It really feels like a serum on the skin. As you can see right there, there's some good pigmentation, but it almost feels, for lack of a better term, like a little bit oily, which usually does not bother me, like I said, and I still really like this formula. But again, I think when I'm layering these two, I kind of have to pick and choose which one I'm using. And lately I've just been going for the contour product more than like this bronzing product, especially because I have been using the Makeup by Mario Bronzing and Shaping Serum kind of in place of this. This came out recently. I have been using it a ton. I really enjoy this. I've talked about this in a previous video. They are pretty different to each other. I would say this is a lighter weight pigmentation and it just feels lighter on the skin, especially in this heat. So I've just been like naturally gravitating towards this one, which is why this pan, the difference from when we started doesn't look too different. I do still reach for this once in a while and I do want to keep it in my project pan because I'm determined to like finish this up because I've had it for so long. But yeah, I'm not reaching for this all that often, unfortunately. Still love the product, but I just feel like right now with the weather, I don't really want to wear this often. That and I have been trying a lot of different cream bronzers and liquid bronzers, as well as a ton of other like cream and liquid and even powder blushes that have been coming out. There's just been so many, so it's really difficult for me to like go and reach for the same ones all the time since I'm trying to equally test things out. Speaking of another blush, we have the Haus Labs Fire Moon blush here, and I don't think you guys are going to be able to really tell a difference here. In person, if I really look at the pan, I do notice that the embossing is slightly lower. I don't know if you guys can see that, but obviously there's not a super big difference with the way that this one is looking, and I kind of expected that. I did mention that this was going to be more of a challenging one for me to start making a dent in because one, it's pretty new, and two, there's just so many blush products that are coming out and so many that I want to use and try, you know, so I kind of anticipated that this was going to pan out this way. No pun intended. I didn't mean to do that. But the little H right here on the center, I do notice that it is starting to like disappear a tiny bit. So my goal with this one is by the time we come back to do another update is just to have a little bit less of that embossing there, and I will be very proud of myself. But I still reach for this a lot. I love to use this alone or to top my cream or liquid blushes underneath. This is just such a beautiful, such a versatile blush shade. I think it would suit so many different skin tones, and it doesn't pull too warm either. I know it looks quite warm in the pan right here, but it's kind of like a muted nude blush, and I love it. And this formulation is so buttery soft. It's very, very pigmented, but it's still super easy to blend out on the cheeks. Okay, the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. I can't find it, guys. I don't know where I put it. I had it in my purse and I was just moving it from purse to purse every time because I was determined to like finish it up, you know? I've made a pretty good dent in it, but I just don't know where I put it. I couldn't find it for this video if I'm being completely honest, but I don't know. I guess we can save that one for the next update. I still have that product, so there's really not too much of a visual that you guys can see anyways with it, but just know I'm still working on it, or at least when I find it again, I'm going to be working on it again. I haven't seen it in like a week, probably. Okay, another blush product, because I added so many blush products to this project pan. It's the Merit Flush Balm in the shade Fox. Now, I did actually make a pretty good dent in this one. I was looking at it compared to like where we started off, and I was looking at the photo and I was like, oh, there's like a centimeter difference of where we started and where we are now. So I was going pretty hard on this when we started the project pan. Like I was using this every day. I love this shade to give like sort of a sunburnt blush look on the cheeks. It is beautiful. You can wear it all over the cheeks and across the nose, and it just gives you the most natural flush. Now, this is another cream product that does have a good amount of hydration on it, but the really good thing about this again is that you can like sort of shear it out and blend it out, and it doesn't stay too hydrating, and you can kind of like layer it on top of itself, which is probably why I'm seeing more of a dent on this one, because I do like to layer this. So I'll apply it after my foundation and my concealer and bronzer, apply this on top with like a brush, and then I'll powder my face, and then I will reapply this on top of that powder to just kind of like bring out more of that color and like finish it off, and it looks beautiful. I've never had an issue with this topping powder. I think it looks so good. Actually, make sure that when you use these, if you're topping powder, you don't swipe it straight away onto the face. Make sure that if you're using this, you apply it to the back of your hand and apply it with a brush, or just like dip your brush in there and then apply it. But yeah, I have actually made a sizable dent in this one. And honestly, looking at it, I was kind of like, oh, it looks like it's going to be the same. But there is a difference there. And that's pretty impressive for a month, considering that we have been testing blushes left and right over here. So another one that I'm not too proud about it is the Bareminerals Gen Nude Lip Liner. This was, I think, the only lip liner that I included in the project pan. And honestly, I don't even see that much of a dent. I sharpened it maybe one time since the beginning of the project pan. And honestly, the Fenty Beauty lip liners came out, the Maybelline lip liners came out, the Glossier lip liners came out, and I did purchase all of those, and I have been testing all of those. So this one truly just kind of like went to the back burner. And I kind of forgot that I included this in the project pan. So I need to stick this in like a little section with the rest of my project pan products, but I don't know. I still love it. Don't get me wrong. I still love this one, but I am distracted by all the other lip liners right now, which is why I have decided to add more lip liners to this project pan. I feel like those are good products to include because I'm just using them so consistently. They are going to be the Glossier lip liners in the shade Buff, which I just recently spoke about this one. It is the most beautiful, natural pinky brown shade, and it just looks incredible on the lips. Like it truly does just kind of contour the lips and deepens them up the perfect amount in order to like use a lipstick or lip gloss or whatever you want on there, you know? And I'm also including a drugstore lip liner. This is the Maybelline lip liner. It's the Lifter liner in the shade number 2, Let's Bounce. I have been wearing this non-stop, you guys. This one does have more of a red brown undertone, whereas Buff has more of a pinky brown undertone here. You can kind of see right there. But both of them I have been using so much. I've already sharpened the Maybelline Lifter liner, and I've had this for maybe a little over a week. It's pretty impressive how much I'm using them. The Lifter liners last forever on the lips. It just works so well. They're nice and creamy. You can blend them out. They're incredible. And the tone of this one, I just cannot get enough of. And I know if I don't include this in the project pan, it's just going to be a waste because I feel like I can definitely use this up, you know? Does anyone else get confused with these lip liners if you're supposed to sharpen them or not? Because they're not wood, but they're also not plastic. Or is it plastic? It's just a different type of plastic. I don't know. I always try to look it up and no one ever says if you're supposed to sharpen them or not. The only way that I know is if they come with a sharpener or if they start selling a sharpener with it, which with the Glossier one, they do. But if you look at it, it's not wood. See, that's not really wood. It has to be some sort of plastic. I don't know. Anyways, we are adding these as well as keeping this one into our rotation for the project pan. So I will insert some photos of both of these, our starting points, so you guys can see, and then we will see where we're at in our next update video. And speaking of taking progress photos, I made a big boo-boo last time, guys, and I did not take a photo of our starting point with the Makeup by Mario eyeliner pencil, and I have definitely been consistently using this. As you can tell, this thing is just a little nub, and I said that last time because we did definitely have less product, and I was looking at the old footage trying to see like maybe I could tell how much product I used, and right here is where it says the perfect brown. Like you can see the lettering right there, and when we started off you could still see most of the W, and now we're like halfway through the W in brown. If you can see that right there, I will take a progress photo now so you guys can see where we are starting off, but I'm still using this. The funny thing is though, you guys, this actually is no longer like attached in to the pencil. It has broken off, but I'm still using it. It's still creamy enough to where I can use it. It is drying out slightly, and I mentioned that last time, but it stays put. I'm going to keep using it until this thing like completely falls apart. I'm wearing it right now. I wear it all the time as my wing in my tight line. Just the best, and I'm really thinking we're gonna finish this up pretty soon. The Sephora Collection Contour Stick in the shade 3 Medium to Tan. This was another one where I was like, oh, I don't think I made much of a dent, but you can see in the progress photo the tiniest microscopic dent in this product, and I'm like, I will take it, because again, I have been really playing around with a lot of cream and liquid contours and bronzers, so this has kind of been in rotation with all of those, but you can definitely see that I have made a tiny little dent in this, and I'm pretty happy about it. And since I'm predicting that I'm gonna get more tan in the next couple weeks because I am going on vacation, I think that this is really gonna come in handy when it comes to a contour. This does tend to be quite deep as a contour, but I can still make it work to where it doesn't look muddy on the skin. And I think if I get just like maybe another shade more tan, then this is going to be like a very, very natural type of contour. But still really loving this, super creamy. It's not too creamy and emollient to where it's unusable in the summertime. I think that this actually does have a nice finish, and it dries down fairly easily, and it's really easy to set down as well. I don't have any issues with it. So I need to just keep remembering to reach for this one on a day-to-day basis. I mainly like to use this on the outer perimeter of my face, so the hollows of my cheeks, my jawline, and a little bit up here. I don't really use it as my contour on my nose because I do find that sometimes it's more hit or miss there with this product because it does tend to be quite dark. Okay, and lastly, we have my fragrance that I included. This is the Phlur Missing Person, and I use a good amount of this. It's like a tiny little difference, but it's definitely a difference. I have been rotating out my fragrances because, like I've mentioned recently, I'm really into experimenting with a lot of fragrances. I do want to do a video on some of my like go-to fragrances. If you guys are curious about that, leave it in the comments down below that you want to see that video because I'd be happy to film it. And I am so picky when it comes to my fragrances because a lot of them do tend to give me headaches. So I have to be very like picky with what I use, when I use it, how much I use, you know what I mean? Anyways, that was a big old rant just to say that I have still been using this, still been loving this, but you know what? I cannot find my Phlur father figure, and that is definitely my favorite Phlur scent by far, and I can't find it. I've looked in every single purse. I need to look in like my suitcases that I've used recently because it is nowhere to be found, and I have put it back into my Sephora cart like 3 times now because I'm like, I need it again. But then I take it out of my cart because I'm like, no, 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 no. It has to be somewhere in the house. Like, you cannot buy another one. So until I just go absolutely crazy without it, I'm just gonna have to keep looking for it. But it is forcing me to use this more often because I just crave a Phlur fragrance. I really think that Phlur might be one of my favorite fragrance houses because their scents are so delicate and different, and they wear so nicely on the skin. I love them, and I'm really happy with the dent I've made. I feel like by the time we do another update video, this might be empty. We'll see. All right, guys, so those were all of our updates for all of our products for the Project Pan. I am pretty proud of myself. Of course, there are some that you can see a lot more of a dent, and there are some that like have no dent at all, but you know, it's bound to happen. Everything is going to kind of be used in its own time. I just personally have to remember to use all of these products even while I'm starting to take in more product. Like, I'm getting sent more things to test out, or I'm purchasing new things to test out. But this Project Pan has been so fun for me, and it's only been a month because it's reminding me to use my product. Like, for instance, the Tower 28 cream blushes, I knew that I liked them, and I knew that like I could use them certain ways or I could not use them certain ways, but now I feel like I have an even better grasp on them. So that is such a good feeling to just feel more like an expert in the products that I'm using. So really excited to continue this. I don't know if I'm gonna do monthly update videos on the Project Pan. You guys let me know what you think makes the most sense. For me, I was just kind of like eyeing my products to see if enough of them had a considerable amount of a difference before I gave you guys an update. And I think that might be what I wanna do moving forward, like kind of just eyeball it and see if it's like worth talking about or not. But I will say that I'm thinking our next update is going to be a little over a month from now, because I will be traveling for some of August. So some of these products I do plan on taking with me. Some of them will be staying home. So I just want to make sure that I still give myself ample amount of time to use the products and give you something to look forward to, and not just showing you the same stuff at the same spot that they were in this video, you know? So that is everything, you guys. Let me know what you think of my progress. I'm so excited about it, and I don't know, these videos just make me really happy, and I hope that you guys are enjoying them as much as I do. A lot of you guys were letting me know in the initial video about your project pans, and please continue to update me on your progress in the comments down below, because reading all of that was like really motivational for me. I don't know, but that's everything. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.